Here we go. Bam! We're back. Intro video all done. It is time to continue. This is going to be session 5 of episode 7, Blood Money. And things are heating up, let me tell you what. So, the most important thing that happened last session is that you guys met Finnegan Odwick, who is pretty much the most amazing character that has ever been created in the history of D&D characters. Not to be,
Debatable.
like, no, I'm not trying to be bigoted about it, but that's the truth.
Don't you mean big-headed rather than bigoted?
Perhaps biased.
Maybe that's what I meant. Yeah.
Perhaps biased.
Biased.
Yes,
Well,
biased.
whatever. But anyways,
Because I hate
No, you meant bigoted. You were a bigot.
Finnegan's kind of a bigot, honestly. He's
Yeah. Of who he's based off of.
Yeah, pretty
The worst
much.
human being ever to exist ever.
Yeah. So, anyways, you guys met Finnegan, and he, just kind of landed in this plane and landed in an area that was very convenient for both you all. And, he's asking for some help, too. And, yeah, that is exactly where we're going to pick up at. We're going to go to Eridu in a second, who went into his dream space to try and find Ethel Vishun, who is an NPC that was introduced kind of a while ago. It's forgetting which episode exactly it was. Maybe
It
episode
was whatever
4.
mine was, so
No,
probably
it was
episode
4.
5.
No, I think it was
It was
4. No, Josh's was 5.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Josh's was 5.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
this.
I can't do maths.
Well, in all
No.
fairness, I threw a monkey in the wrench on that one, so.
You
Yeah.
did.
For sure. So, we are going to get to Eridu's thing, but one of the last things that we did in the session was that Halifax came into a certain room of the hideout, like the kitchen area, to go check on Finnegan, only to find that Finnegan and Zarkon were at the table gambling together, very good-naturedly. And Halifax decided to join the game, put up some gold, lost the gold, and in the second round, Finnegan tried to talk him into putting up his spell book as a wager, but that didn't work. But Halifax took a ring off his finger and anteed that, and Finnegan answered, and he anteed a ring of his own. And Halifax, being the lucky duck that he is, ended up taking the pot. So as Finnegan is pushing everything toward you, he'll hold this jet black ring up in front of you, and he'll say, "All right, Halifax, my boy, I honestly am not too upset about losing this, because I got to be honest with you. I've taken shits that are more magical than you, and you need the help. You need all the help that you can get. So you know what? excuse me. You know what? You just take it. This ring, you can store spells in it. Halifax, you can hold a lot of magic in this ring. Hold a lot of magic, and there's already a little bit of magic in there for you."
Wonderful. I'll be going with my winnings now. Oh, look. Winnings. It appears I won. Thank you for the pleasant game.
Anytime. I'll gamble that spellbook right off you later, don't worry.
Indeed. I'm sure that will be a very pleasant time for you. And it'll surely happen. If you wish hard enough, anything can and will happen. Meanwhile, I'm going to go and make sure that my spellbook stays protected.
Very well, very well.
Good time.
Very well. I'll stay here with Zarkon, and we'll, I don't know, try and come up with a new cocktail or something.
Yes, take care,
Yeah.
Finnegan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Halifax.
Hmm?
Very important. When you all go out to the warehouse, tomorrow, whenever it is, you need to prepare detect magic.
All right. I don't think I have that spell.
Finnegan gives you this look as if you've just sprouted 3 extra arms. You mean to tell me that you don't know detect magic? What kind of amateur, incompetent trickster are you?
Now, Finnegan. You yourself are traveling about the plains looking for magical artifacts and spells that you do not have access to. A wizard has only so much time in their hands to be able to fill their spell book with the most powerful and esoteric knowledges that they have at their disposal. If I were to add dispel magic, something that any particular member of the ISCB might be able to conjure on their own, that would be a wasted slot in my armory of spells. I can talk, honest.
Finnegan still is giving you a strange look, and he's just mumbling a bunch of things under his breath, just like incompetent, like blah, blah, blah. It's a first level spell, it's an Arcana 101, all that kind of stuff. And then while he's mumbling, he's rummaging around in a pouch of his. He says, here it is. You're in luck, this time. And he pulls out a scroll, and he says, like I said, it's a first level spell. It's simple, it's useful, and you are an idiot for not knowing it. So, consider this a gift. It'll save your skin.
You're very generous, Finnegan. Thank you.
I try. Truly, I try. When you are using the spell, you'll get different auras that correspond to different schools of magic. And I'll remind you that the components that you're looking for will power a conjuration spell. So you know what you gotta look for.
A conjuration aura.
Conjuration aura. Don't get mixed up. It looks pretty similar to some other ones.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Finnegan. You do seem to have your heart in the right place.
Halifax, you're the first person who's ever told me that. That's very sweet, actually.
You're very welcome. This feels like a heartwarming moment. Would you like a hug, Finnegan?
Ugh. Get away, actually. No. No. I don't touch people.
Fair enough.
Banishment spell.
I shall leave. As I'm leaving, I'm just going to cast another eye towards Zarkon, just to see how this almost body language-less form is. I'm not sure if I trust it. Just want to see if I can get a vibe.
Well, yeah. So what I've been describing with Zarkon is that with the way that his whole thing is, like, he doesn't have the ability to make facial expressions at all, but there is a really strange kind of like sensation that you get where it's like you're almost like imprinting something on it or whatever. It's like you're projecting an emotion on it. Like he gives you these slight little like head turns, or like he'll cock his head in a certain way, or he'll be crossing his arms in this very like lackadaisical kind of fashion. It's other little subtler things like that that really give you an idea of like how he may be feeling about it.
Yeah.
And the impression that you get from looking at him as you leave the room is that he's been very intently listening to your conversation, and you get a sense of a sly smile that he's giving you.
I'm going to go and find. Is it Eridu's the one currently out scouting, isn't it?
Oh no, he's sleeping.
Oh, he's sleeping.
He's sleeping. Yeah.
We already did the scouting. The scouting was like earlier.
Yeah, that was earlier.
All right. Right. Okay. While I was doing the research, the scouting. Right. Okay. Yes. Yes. Then yes, I shall go and wake Eridu.
Okay, so while you're on the way to do that, we actually have to get through Eridu's whole dream process thing.
That's
And
fine.
Quick
How do
yes,
they cut it short? Because he's getting woken up in the middle of his sleep.
no, no,
This
no.
can't go
Reminder,
wrong
I'm-
whatsoever.
What was that, Josh?
Quick reminder: I'm with Halifax the whole time, so obviously I just get up and leave with him. So in case you're trying to manage characters,
Okay,
I'm with Halifax.
Cool.
okay,
Oh,
okay,
I'm glad you're with me, actually.
for sure.
You specifically came and got me. We actually went down to go eat. Then you bet, and then we left.
Oh, crap. You know what?
Yeah.
We need to go and get Eridu. That is the important thing right now.
For sure.
I need to speak to him about this Zarkon character.
Mhm.
Gives me the creeps.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, in that case, Theala, you being there, you'll if you look at Zarkon, you'll get very much the same kind of impression that I gave to Halifax.
I would assume maybe because he was a drow, right?
Yeah,
So I would assume I would have slightly better insight, only because like the cultural similarity.
oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, yeah, with that extra little bit of insight,
I'm not a lot. Like I'm not saying I'll be able to tell the difference between not difference.
Oh.
It's just
oh yeah, no,
like
no, no.
kind of like how as an American I could tell what you're thinking better than Drew can.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The look that Zarkon was giving to Halifax,
Yeah.
to borrow the whole thematic element of spiders and whatnot with the Drow culture,
Right.
it's kind of like Zarkon feels like he's the spider who has his web, and Halifax is a fly that is maybe about to fly into his web or something. That's kind of like the look that Zarkon's given him.
Oh, so basically a look that I see on many drow.
Yeah, it's like a very,
nobles
it's like a
pretty much all the
default kind of look for Drow nobility in a
Yeah.
way.
Okay.
They're falling perfectly into my trap, and I'm a Drow, and that's all I do is set traps. Stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Guys, Zarkon is a really good guy. I don't know why you're throwing him all this shit. Totally trustworthy.
He's very trustworthy. He's very chill. Okay, so transitioning into the dream space.
This is why Kyle does our music.
Uh, yes. So, Eridu, you found yourself in what looked to be like the ruins of Telsavan. It is like very distinctly Telsavan with the style of architecture. You had been there before. You recognize it like that, but it is in ruins. There is a shadowy figure that seems to be high up in the air, moving among the clouds. Just moving the clouds, but never really revealing itself. And as you stood trying to take in the scene and trying to think about exactly why you've been teleported to Telsavan in this dream space, you had no idea where you were going to end up, but you ended up here. As you're processing that, a voice carries on the wind, and it's Ethel's voice, and she's saying, "Eridu, help me, help me." And you heard the voice, turned in the direction of where it was coming from, and started running.
That's true.
That's very
I
true.
seem to remember that description.
Yeah.
I think somebody else gave it.
No, it was you. No, it was
Yeah.
it was
It
you.
wasn't you.
I'm just recapping for the audience. Come on, give me a break. So what happens after you start running is that you turn this corner and that corner, and you find yourself in the central town square of Telsavan. There is a nice big fountain with a statue. The statue on top is some famous dwarven hero of the past or whatever, has some kind of significance.
He's the dwarven equivalent to like Paul Bunyan.
Sure, it's like the dwarven Paul Bunyan kind of thing, like some kind of tall tale about this excellent rad dwarf that used to live back in the day. And that is the central feature of the town square. And right in front of that, there is a very large iron cage. It is like 10 feet tall, 10 feet on each side. Yeah, it's just like a big 10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot kind of thing. There is no gate on the cage. It is all just solid iron bars crisscrossing. And within the cage, you find Ethel Vashun, and she is on her she's like on her knees, like her body is kind of crouched over like this. Her head is pointing toward the ground. Her face is wet with tears, and she's just been like holding herself, and she's still yelling into the wind. Help me, Eridu. Help me.
You're my only hope.
You're my only hope, Eridu.
Ethel, I am here.
Finally. I had been calling for you forever, and I didn't know when you would show up.
Why me specifically? I'm not the only sleeping person in the world.
You're the only sleeping person I feel like I can trust. I don't even know who to trust anymore. And I can't, try as I might, I just cannot reach Agner. Is he
Yes.
okay?
I do not know. Agner has not been doing well since your death. Are you dead? Are you a spirit?
No, 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 no. If I was dead, I could not be here. That's not really the way it works. No, I'm alive. But I'm trapped.
But you are in a dream state. How are you still trapped?
It's my husband, Eridu. He is gone crazy. Absolutely crazy. He has kept me magically confined. Magically in an inert sleep state. He's keeping me that way and keeping me trapped in here. And she looks up at the iron bars around her. I cannot leave this dream. And all I can do is cry out for help to anyone who I think can help me. You're the only one I think who can help me. My husband Eridu, he's, like I said, he's gone crazy. He's a powerful, high-ranking member of the ISCB, but he's been corrupted. He keeps speaking about something he keeps referring to as the Dark One. That's all he cares about, all he answers to anymore. He's abdicated his responsibilities to the ISCB, but he's also been hiding it. Only I know of his corruption, and that's why he's trapped me here, so I can't speak to anyone.
What do I need to do?
I don't know where I am, but I do know that I must be in some kind of close proximity to my husband. He would need to keep refreshing the spell that I'm under, so he cannot be too far away.
So are you physically still in Tilsavin?
I don't think so. Telsavin is too vulnerable, and there's too much activity going on there right now.
But you would not be in Spires, because we are in a similar state.
I'm sorry, can you say it again?
You wouldn't be in Spires, because we are also experiencing
Wait,
a lot.
Where's Spires?
I'm sorry, wrong game. Twin Harbor.
Oh, you
I have
silly.
too many central cities and too many other games.
Sure. No, I don't think I'm in Twin Harbor either. That's also not a secure area. No, I must be in some ISCB stronghold somewhere. That's the only thing that makes sense. But Telsavin, as far as why I'm here, I don't know. I think that was my husband's decision.
Hmm. I I will need some of your help as well. It is my intention to break into two actually bureau places. One a warehouse here in the Twin Harbors, and another one where Agner is currently being held.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
That what? I'm sorry,
he
continue.
he took off the ring, and he was arrested shortly after by someone. Oh, what is his name? Um, actually, it's more of a player. As a player, I'm not remembering his name.
It was Raish Dunham.
Yeah, that's right. An agent Dunham has arrested him
They sent Dunham after you?
after Agner.
After Egner? Oh my
Yes.
gosh. That's awful. Dunham is ruthless. He is. Uh, he will stop at nothing to finish the job.
Yes, he was oddly very respectable for someone who seems to be ruthless. But he did his job, and now has Agner, and that is what I've been trying to do ever since. Ever since. So I have someone who can get me into the place to save Agner, but he would like me to break into the bureau warehouse here in Twin Harbors and steal a components for a spell.
Hmm. Okay. Um, you know, I am concerned for you and your safety, and I cannot recommend that you break into any bureau held area at all. But you must do what you must do, and if that's the only way that you can save Egner.
Well, it seems that I will also be trying to save you, because you might be in a place not far from Agner, if not the same location. Hopefully the same location. That would make things a lot easier.
That would be the greatest irony. I've been yelling out for Egner this whole time, and he could be so close to me already.
All right. Um, we need information, because if we are to break into this place, we need to do it in as safe a way as possible. Um, through some means, a companion of mine has been able to get the layout of another warehouse or stronghold for the bureau, and they appear to have golems, constructs,
Oh, yeah.
something guard them.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guardians are pretty standard issue for warehouses.
Hmm.
They are triggered by proximity, and they pack quite a punch.
Is there an easy way to nullify them?
Certain spells can nullify them. If there's a way to just completely immobilize them, then you can get around them pretty easily. They're not very fast. Uh,
And once you get outside of this proximity, will they shut down?
no, no. They're once they're activated, they will identify intruders. They have ways of being able to tell. Obviously, someone like me, if I went in there, it would be okay because I have the clearance. But you do not have the clearance, and there is a way to tell that, and they will try and destroy you.
How does one gain this clearance? Is there a way to forge it?
It's powerful magic, powerful something that you can only have done in a bureau facility.
Okay. Damn. All right. Uh,
Eridu, you need to watch out for pearls.
pearls.
Pearls. They can be smaller, some of them are larger, but for whatever reason, a pearl is a very handy arcane focus. It channels and stores magical energy very easily. The ISCB uses pearls for all sorts of different purposes to create very simple magical devices, such as, you can cast light into a pearl, and it can become a source of light that can be stored and used. They also use them to make very maniacal traps. Um, so yes, just watch out. Watch out for pearls.
All right. And one of the biggest issues we're looking at with the um, warehouse in Twin Harbors is there doesn't seem to be an easy way to get in. The town guard are watching the gates. It is on a secluded island. Walls, whatever. The My companion was not even able to scry into the place. Apparently, you can use scrying to see. Your magic is strange.
I know. It is all very complicated. I I don't know how much advice I can give on that because I've never been to the Twin Harbor warehouse. Uh, but I would say check every bit of it that you can, every bit of the outside that you can. Look for a vulnerability. And if you must deal with the town guards, I am sure that you and your companions are resourceful in some kind of capacity.
All right. What information can you give me about what we'll be up against inside of what? Where would Dunham have even taken Agner?
Probably to
Where
the
would,
probably to
yeah.
the headquarters. That's where they have the facilities that are best equipped for dealing with these monstrosities. You know,
And
Agner
what?
what Agner was enormous. They need a large enough chamber with a large enough area on the floor to be able to construct a magical cage for him. Um, yeah, they would have to take him to the stronghold.
Is Agner's life in danger?
It's hard to say. It all depends on how much of a threat he represents to the ISCB. And I don't know how that all pans out.
Hmm.
Usually with monstrosities, they just, use the appropriate spells to cleanse the taint from the person and send them send them on their merry way. But
Hmm.
Agner has always been so stubborn, so frustratingly stubborn.
Yes. I think I have an idea.
What's that?
Have the people of the ISCB? You're aware of the assassination of the ambassador.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Are you aware of the tool implemented to create that assassination to happen in the first place?
I saw the dossier. I'm familiar with the technology.
It is strange technology.
Novel. Never before seen, really.
Something that likely does not have a good defense.
I cannot imagine um, a widely available defense against that kind of weapon. I know that as soon as the ISCB found out about it, the research and development department began um, working on some abjuration spells that could possibly be a counter. But I don't know how far along they are with that process. I've been stuck in here for I don't even know how long at this point.
And you do not know where you are, but would you hazard a guess that you would be at the main headquarters?
Like I
Or would you...
well, like I said, my husband is a high-ranking member of the bureau. That's where his offices are. It's hard to say whether or not he would be there. Maybe he would be expecting something like that.
And would any of the members of the Bureau stand up for you if they knew you were imprisoned? Would any of them stand against him and try to help you out?
I'd like to think so. I thought I had built up some very strong relationships with people in the Bureau, but like I said before, I don't know who to trust anymore. It's not just my husband who's corrupt, Eridu. It's several people in the Bureau. The Bureau is supposed to be impartial, an international spellcasting certification bureau. It's supposed to be impartial, but there are people taking money to turn a blind eye to all of these things that are violating our core values and our protocols.
Give me the names of some of the people you know best. I will try to reach out to them in as secretive a way as possible. See what we can do to get the word out that you are being held for crimes you did not commit. See if I can create some unrest in the Bureau itself. And then I'm going to do something crazy, and I will not tell you what it is because I feel that you will try to talk me out of it. Crazier than breaking into the Bureau headquarters. Which, by the way, I'll need the location.
Very well. So she rattles off. I don't have like names totally right off the top of my
No,
head.
yeah,
Right now.
that's fine.
But she rattles off two names of bureau individuals. One is an elf, and the other is a human. It's an elven gal and a human dude. And she's the ones that she feels like she can actually trust in
Cool.
this situation. And then she also tells you that the bureau headquarters is in a particular province in Irden. And I actually have a map floating around here where I've like drawn Irden out entirely and broke it into all these different provinces. So I'll be able to look at that and tell you exactly which province it is
Okay.
located
Nice.
in. It's floating around here somewhere in my stacks and stacks of unorganized DM
Right.
notes. The best DM for that reason. Stacks of unorganized papers.
Notes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, so she rattles off those two names. Oh, I love it, Drew. You give me a run for my money.
At what point are you going to disturb me from my sleep there, Halifax?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Ethel pretty much told you a lot of important stuff that she was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Eridu has put together some pretty insane plans, so we'll see how this goes.
for sure. So, how about Ethel says, Eridu, one last thing. If you
Yeah.
find Egner, can you please tell him, and then, boom.
Wake up, Hydra!
Wake up.
Tell him what? And I'm going to grab Halifax. You're... touching his face. You're a man. Oh,
I have been accused of being such, yes.
Halifax, why did you wake me? I was in the middle of a conversation. Very important things were being discussed.
You might find, Eridu, that you are in fact asleep.
Yes.
Confusing.
I
Anyway,
I was
Eridu,
speaking with someone in my dreams. It's a thing that can happen.
but you're
Look,
an elf.
you have your magic, and I have mine.
Hmm.
And mine seems to have to do with the ability to understand the way that cross communication through different planes works. Apparently, the dreamscape is an actual plane that you can communicate and move through.
That is most fascinating.
It's
I shall have to quiz you on that at some point, because that would be a truly amazing thing to go and explore. However, we don't quite have time for that. It's nothing pressing, which further compounds, actually, that I should not have woken you up and should have waited until you'd finished your slumbers. However, I think that we should discuss Zarkon some more.
yes.
I have
That
a great
may
many
not be.
concerns. Finnegan is... Oh, goodbye, Eridu.
Oh, nope. I'm still here. I just hit my screen
Oh.
in accident. I'm there.
Okay.
I didn't even realize I did that.
Eridu just blinked out of existence.
You just face steps in the middle of your conversation. See ya.
Halifax is getting particularly close with that Finnegan character. Now, while I'm not his largest fan, he does seem to have good intentions, at least where it comes to Emily's cause. It
Okay.
concerns me that perhaps Zarkon is using Finnegan.
That could be problematic because Finnegan seems to be a very powerful caster, and Zarkon scares me.
Yes. It concerns me more the fear that you have for him. What is it that Zarkon has done?
Zarkon hasn't really done anything that I'm aware of, but my companion Agner spent a lot of time housing his spirit in a way that kept him away from interacting with others. And from his interactions with Zarkon and from what he told me, this being cannot be trusted. It wants nothing more than to elevate its own power at whatever cost it takes. It uses people indiscriminately if they can elevate him. I plan to use Zarkon for a means to an end, and then find whatever way I can to end him for good. And I might have that purpose that I can put him toward.
If we could make that as quick as possible, that would be my preference. The longer that Finnegan spends with that Zarkon character, the more dangerous the situation seems to feel. I don't have anything definite to lay this upon, and nor am I a diviner or a star charter or anything of the sort. Something about this just makes me feel bad.
So I'm gonna go right up to you at this point. I'm gonna smack you right in your solar plexus flat hand, so I'm not like trying to bust the air out of you, but just to resonate in your body, essentially. And I'm gonna go. You feel that?
Your hand, yes.
That's your gut. That will serve you better than any divine magic or star chart or book. Always follow it. It's how I've survived as long as I have.
Grim,
Yes.
I have a crazy idea. One that I think you will absolutely love.
Okay.
We are going to assault 2 Bureau facilities. And one of them is going to require us to steal something quite big and quite complicated. It might get us all killed. But if it does not, it will be the kind of things that bards will sing tales of.
I think you're misremembering what kind of bard I am. but I am intrigued by the mission, and you and I have saved each other in many scrapes. So,
Um, give me a moment. I need to converse with Emily. You can come with me. Uh, yeah.
okay, I'd hate for her to feel left out again.
Yes, and I think she has the resources to get us what we need. At least I hope so.
Okay.
So, Kyle, you up and paying attention there?
Kind of. I've been like
Okay.
trying to find my notes and stuff, and actually, I'm going to show you guys this really quick. It's
We
the-
gotta we're going to pull in Emily, just so you know.
For sure. Yeah, so this is the map of Iridan with all the different provinces, and
Right.
I've got Twin Harbor in the wrong place because in my tabletop I've placed Twin Harbor in a different area.
Yeah.
But essentially, so is Twin Harbor like right here? Or is
No, it's the
it here?
to the
You're where your fingers at is kind of that
It's
area
kind of the area. Okay.
in this bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I forget where it was because I thought it was more to the west. Okay.
I mean, it might have been more to the west for sure, but it's in that it's at that apex of the mouth of that.
Okay. All right.
That area
So
coming up.
I think I got it going on here. So give me a quick.
It is on the west side.
Okay. All right. Give me a little quick just summation of what you guys said. Hilofax said that I think
Pretty
Zarkon's
much
dangerous.
the only thing you need to know right now is we're going to talk to Emily because we're probably
Oh.
going to recap a fair amount of what we
Okay,
just
that's
talked about
good.
with her
All right.
anyway. So
Yeah, so you can find Emily very very easily. You know, she might
Yeah.
even still be by the fire,
Hmm.
like with her cup of tea. She's like kind of dozing off a little bit. Like doesn't seem like she's been getting a lot of sleep lately. So she's definitely like.
Emily,
Yes.
I have a
yes.
I have a plan,
Yes.
and I need some help.
Okay.
Do you remember when the ambassador was killed?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Of course I do.
so there were firearms or some sort of cannon that these dwarves used, but
Mhm.
they were able to carry them on their own.
Yes.
Firearm is a really bad term since we don't actually use that yet.
For sure.
Um,
Yes, it was a
I don't
cannon.
even
It was
have
like
fire cannons.
it was like a cannon that they could carry in their two hands.
Pretty
Hand
much.
cannons.
Oh man, there's a name.
There's a boomstick.
We need some of those.
Ah. Okay.
From my understanding, it was dwarves who had them. Perhaps dwarves have more of them.
That stands to reason, I suppose.
I mean, not really. It's just sort of a leap.
Sure.
But it's a hope of mine. We're
Wh-
going to use Zarkon and those cannons, and we are going to assault the front gate, full-on assault against the warehouse here in Twin Harbors. And then, at least the three of us, perhaps Zarkon as well, we are going to go back to the facility where we found that large dragon creature, and we're going to steal it. And we are going to fly that thing right into the headquarters of the Bureau.
Okay.
I would like to add, Emily, that this is the first I'm hearing of this plan in detail too.
Okay. Okay, so I need to take a second to unpack this. The hand cannons, I suppose that is, gosh, I don't know, Josh.
It's been more than a year. It's been more than a year.
Since
Probably been about
episode 3.
like 7 months, 8 months.
Yeah.
So then, so have they been in development for more than a year? Like I'm looking at that timeline. Whatever you guys introduce,
You've heard
and you're trying to get information.
Okay, you've heard stories about, everyone's heard stories about how the ambassador was killed.
Right, but would I have direct knowledge?
This is one of those moments that I would say possibly.
Okay. Yeah.
How about a history check or
Okay.
something? See,
That's a good call.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. I just like I said, it's one of those anything that a special forces commander would know.
Like,
Um.
I definitely understand like denying the Warforged knowledge and the Dragon knowledge, but like the guns were developed, like were introduced the last time you GM'd, and that was some time ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And they would have
These
had to have gone into mass production and blah blah blah. 20 total.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good roll.
Yeah. So you guys are talking about firearms then.
yes,
They were part
I
of the
suppose.
siege from 6 months ago, something like that.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I can't speak where they are, but I do know of them. I've seen them. I have minor understanding of how they operate.
Have you
They are
used them?
mostly a dwarven technology.
Because if you've used them, that could go a long way. Since
I've fired them is the nomenclature the dwarves like to use. I have fired them, and they are effective. They are, however, be careful, but they are effective.
so here's my thinking: we are going up against the most magically equipped people that we know.
Uh huh.
And the dwarves seem to be developing some form of technologies that we have not seen thus far. This might be a wonderful moment to combat magic with technology before there's a true way of defending against it.
Very well. I. It's a crazy idea, Eridu, but you usually come at me with crazy ideas, so I'm not very surprised. We can certainly try and procure some of these firearms, as you call them.
Emily, is there a? Do you know of any dwarven strongholds that would have them nearby? You have the local intelligence that I don't.
Yes, there is actually a facility just outside that is being kept fairly under tight guard. I I've gone and scouted the area myself, but have not gotten too close. There,
Well, fortunately for you, I'm a member of the no, Novellar. That's all I need to do to walk in the front door. So we'll make
very
our
well,
way and we'll procure them.
very well. Um, as far as your second plan, um, I don't know if that's entirely necessary. Finnegan has been working very hard on the information that you gave him, and as if speaking his name summoned him into the room. Finnegan walks in with his flask. He's just walking in and he's like tipping the flask already. Yeah, what do you want? Oh, Finnegan. Yes, I was just speaking to you. These Eridu and his friends here have a plan that I think would be quite interesting for you to hear. And then she gives the details about the firearms and then the whole thing with with the stealing the mechanical dragon thing, and he just starts laughing. Oh, that is rich. Oh, you guys always surprise me. That's why I like you. You're crazy and you like surprises. And I'm also crazy and I also like surprises. It's brilliant. Really, the whole thing's brilliant. But yeah, the mechanical dragon thing, you don't need that. I I cracked the code on that sigil sequence. All I need are the materials and I can bit bop you right into the magical inquiries department.
Hmm. And how are we going to get out with all the people and undetected?
Well, he starts rummaging around in his pack and he pulls out a big sapphire and says, eh, you know, this shit ain't cheap. I want you to know that, first of all. This is not cheap. but I can repurpose this to do a recall, similar to what I did to get us here to the hideout in the first place. And, speaking of the hideout, I have guarded it from scrying magic for a while now, so you're welcome, by the way.
Thank you, Finnegan.
Yeah.
Credit where credit is due. If he's helping us out this far, I see no reason to doubt the help that he's offering just now. It may be, Eridu, that we have to store away our ambitions for the time being in order to achieve the greater good.
I mean, it's easier than stealing a giant robotic dragon, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah. You get me the material components that I need, and I can teleport you there from my circle, my eightfold star, straight into the Magical Inquiries Department, which is at the headquarters. You go do what you need to do, and then you go back to where I teleported you in, crush the sapphire, and you'll be back here.
Few quick questions that I have on this actually possibly more insane plan. The first one is, we're going to be dropping off in the middle of offices?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, isn't that the whole
So
thing?
we're,
It's just all offices?
I mean, so just to point out, we're going to be going into the middle of offices in an organization that's designed to detect magic, and with 3 intruding people, and then conduct stealth operations, and then leave undetected?
Hey, this was your crazy idea, not mine.
I think that's about the long and short of it, though, Theala.
I think that maybe we might need to find tools to help us, Eridu. I think that's actually a solid plan. Maybe not getting in and out, and we don't need to assault, but I feel much more comfortable having something if they can dispel our magic and counter us every minute.
So you wish to crash through the wall with a giant mechanical dragon?
No, I wish to equip ourselves better with less magically dependent items, so that way when we are magically infiltrated, and we go in, we aren't in our trip between the portico and our target and back. We are not defenseless.
There's a weapons shop down the road called the Outrageous Fortune. We can purchase slings and arrows there.
I'm kind of thinking something much bigger and boomier, like a firearm. I think Eridu is right in that regard. Being able to put down spellcasters with something they can't stop quicker than they can react might benefit us.
It does seem logically sound.
You know what would be very beneficial right now is some kind of, at least for getting into the warehouse here, is some kind of distraction.
It feels like that needs to be a cutaway to something amazing. Stay puft, Marshmallow Man.
I'm like, all right, like, I want to do all these things, but I don't want to fuck our storyline.
Well, it becomes the new storyline. Don't worry about it. I blew up a ship. You're fine.
You blew up 2 ships.
On a side note,
I blew up 2 ships.
there are a few names of people that may be well trusted in the bureau.
I have those names.
Mm-hmm.
The human male is named Orwield Bolt. Orwield Bolt. And the female elf is named Celye Anwil. It's Celye is like Celye. Or Celye, or however you want to say that. Celye Anwil. And also the information is that you got the headquarters is in Salazar province, or Sazalar. That's it. Sazalar province in Irden.
Got it. All right. Yeah, we may want to send preferably someone who's not entirely linked to our organization, but someone who we do trust to these people. Reach out to them. In fact, I think Lauren would be the perfect candidate for that job.
Interesting.
And I would like to give them the message that Ethel Vashun is being imprisoned by her husband, possibly in the headquarters, like the main stronghold itself, for crimes she did not commit. I hope that these people are in a level where they can, a level of influence where they can actually do something within the Bureau to investigate these claims. And maybe tie up certain aspects of the Bureau with some kind of investigative red tape, which will make it harder for them to put their energies toward detecting us when we sneak in.
Now there's thinking with your noggin, my boy. What's her name again? Oh yeah, Eridu. Yeah, Eridu. Yeah, yes. Doing great. Hey.
Thank you.
Anytime.
I do think we need to get a hold of those firearms. And, are people still rioting?
Rioting in Twin Harbor?
Those who are following, what's his name? Oh no, because they've kind of organized that pretty well, haven't they? The dude who's getting people all worked up. I can't remember his name. Vitrell, yeah.
Yeah, there are no riots in the city going on right now. There is a there's like the opposite going on. It's an oppressive police state that is being imposed upon the city.
Can we get people rioting?
I don't know. Can you?
Oppressive police states is how easy it is to riot people in oppressive police states. Like literally, all it takes is a powder keg.
I mean, it does seem that people are being oppressed, and there is this organization. Do we know? Is it pretty common consensus that people are very unhappy with the way things are going? Would it take just a little bit of a flame here to ignite something that will draw the attention of the guards away from the warehouse and get the Eye of Sauron, if you will, looking somewhere else?
Who is this Sauron you're talking about?
It's an expression we use. It's an expression ourselves have. Don't worry about it.
Emily will hold up a hand and say, Eridu, I admire your creativity, but if you go along with this path, I must caution you that you cannot burn the city to the ground in the pursuit of your goal. You cannot sacrifice the people of the city and their well-being.
You know, I hear what you're saying, Emily. And I love this city. And I have seen it become a police state, something that I never wanted for it. And I see only one villain at hand. Perhaps in this moment we can kill two birds with one stone. We can cause enough chaos for Garth that we might be able to strike a blow that will become very difficult for him to come back from, while simultaneously doing what we need to do to get into the Bureau and release Agnan. We need to make a move at some point. Things are reaching a head that I can only imagine will end in the loss of many, many lives.
Yes. We have to do something drastic, that is true. Every day, the hold that Garth and Vitrell have on this city tightens and tightens. And I don't want it all burned to the ground, but I do want to take this city back.
And Emily, we will. And at a certain point, we must, no matter the cost. Because sometimes great costs come with greater rewards. And sometimes what we have to lose is everything. Sometimes it's just everything, and we cannot afford. Let me rephrase that. We must give everything if we do not want to lose everything.
I understand the logic in what you're saying, but I must be honest, Eridu, there's something in your voice that is unsettling me, and I don't know what it is.
It's because he understands, and I step forward and kind of in the middle. He understands right now that this is what needs to be done. And it's on a soldier to complete a mission for the good of the people. And sometimes those missions are unsavory. But as a soldier, you do it for the good of the people. No more, no less.
Very well. Then go and do some good for the people.
Must I be the sole voice of reason here? Surely we're not talking about sacrificing innocent people or placing them in danger.
No, we are providing them the means of rebellion they need. And the police state that they've been put under. They will free themselves from the shackles of this. What'd you say his name was?
Vitrell.
Trell.
Vitrell.
Orin Vitrell, yes, the gentleman who's sort of running things, sort of.
They will free the reins. We are providing them the tools and the fodder they need to be the spark of freedom that they've lost.
I do not feel that the current regime is some long-lasting institution that we need to rail against so heavily. It is a recent change. This takes time to settle in. For now, we have a simple task that does not risk the lives of strangers. By causing them to risk their own lives to break free from recently applied shackles, I'd wager is simply to make our jobs easier. And that is not something that I can comfortably go along with.
Hello, Fax.
If we were in a peaceful, contented area, and we were attempting to use people as a fodder, I would agree with you. No people should be used as tools.
Indeed.
But there are times when the needs of two disparate groups can converge. And if we help them while they are helping us, we afford each other greater chances of success. If they rebel in 2 weeks when we're not here, they won't have us to turn the tide for them. If we act now without their commotion, we are less likely to succeed in our mission.
Are we not already the unrest? Is this not the rebellion that we are a part of? We are the people. We are the people willing to take action, roping others into it as a smokescreen. It makes me uncomfortable, but if it's required for the mission to go ahead, I'll be there to try and mitigate the loss of life.
I will say this to you, good sir. This is a resistance. A rebellion is of the people. A resistance is a group who attempts to incite rebellion.
So, having heard what both of you have to say, you make valid points, Halifax. In creating a riot based on propaganda, we would be convincing people to sacrifice their lives when they don't fully understand why. Instead, why don't I, and some of those loyal to the rebellion, why don't we incite our own uh, assault? And those who feel the unrest of this place, they are welcome to join us. And if they do not, well, a band of us may die. But that may give the rest of you the opportunity to get what you need from the Bureau headquarters, or from the Bureau warehouse.
I actually have a better idea for you, Eridu. There was a time, a long time ago, stories that we have of a unruly population in our empire. And what started the rebellion was not the people rising up, or was not a group attacking. It was a group that was attacked. They were providing aggressive civil discourse, and the soldiery, intimidated, reacted poorly, and incited rebellion. We can incite rebellion by throwing ourselves on the sword, if you will.
Perhaps all it will really take is for Garth to know that I am in the city.
It seems that Grim and Eridu, your plans converge somewhat. If we do have a small strike force going out to antagonize the soldiers, but in a subtle way, one that we are fairly sure will prompt an overreaction response, that may provide the spark necessary for any citizenry that wish to willingly and of their own accord join in with any powder keg situation that we have initiated. I could also help to ensure that that overreaction is what we get.
And we need to make sure that someone can also get into the Bureau at this time. Into the warehouse.
Well, then grant me an hour, Eridu, and I will come back to you with a solid plan on how we can do both.
All right.
This hour I will be spending, Dungeon Master, with my ring to work out what spell is in the ring.
Okay.
Did you want Identify?
Well,
if Theala has Identify, I'll...
Give me 10 minutes, I'll tell you what's in that ring.
Scratch that, Eridu. Not an hour, 10 minutes. We have an advance of 10 minutes. 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there.
Yeah.
That'll give me time to discuss with Emily.
For sure.
Nice one.
So,
I'll hand the ring over to Theala and be like,
okay.
Tell me this has the geese spell in it.
Yeah, ritual spellcast, obviously.
For sure. Okay, cool. So I'll just go ahead and fast forward the zip 10 minutes and say, and Theala realizes that there is a 5th level enchantment spell stored within this ring, and it's called Geese. And Geese, for the uninitiated, those that are not familiar with this very cool spell, you place a magical command on a creature that you can see, and you force it to carry out some service or refrain from some action or course of activity as you decide. And you have to spend 1 minute casting it, and it lasts for 30 days. And yeah, there's a saving throw thing involved or whatnot, but yeah, essentially, yeah, I just thought it'd be a really cool fit for Halifax being the enchanter wizard, and then he would get an enchantment spell that's a little bit higher level than he has access to right now, and it might come really in handy. So yeah, that's pretty much what that does.
I've been pronouncing it geese for many years, and I've just googled it now. It is pronounced gas. Seriously, for the whole 20 years that I've been doing this.
For sure. Well, maybe it's like a potato kind of thing. Who
It-
knows?
It's one of those things where it's a lot cooler if you cast geese on someone than if you cast gas on them.
I cast gas. That's funny.
It has a verbal component.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude.
Is that
Okay.
verbal component pull my finger?
Yeah, exactly. So,
okay.
yeah, you pretty much get the whole story, Halifax. You understand the implications of what this spell can do for you. And keep in mind that this is a spell that Finnegan stored in the ring, and it is a one-time use thing. After you use the spell, geese, or gas, however we want to pronounce it, the spell's gone, but now the ring is empty so that you can cast spells into it and store even more spells in it. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm just sticking up for Tabletop Crafter there. They used ass in the chat.
I know, I dropped the F-bomb earlier and it didn't say anything. Fucking Nightbot.
We're the privileged ones. A Nightbot won't touch us
Because we're moderators.
because we're moderators.
Oh, man.
Oh, to be a moderator.
Dude. Okay.
Just don't say any more swear words for like the next 10 minutes and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Halifax will return to the group, Eridu and Emily, having the discussion about whatever. And the proposed plan is we track down a member of the ISCB. We give them the quest to lead Eridu and whoever else from the Resistance to go into the warehouse and allow them in, get them past any security that needs to get got past, and gather the resources. I'll also pass along the detect magic scroll. I think it was that.
It's a scroll.
Yeah, so that they can find it. I will then use enchantments along with Fiala to exacerbate a reaction from the town guards. Yeah, that will be.
That sounds like a good
my
plan.
suggestion.
How do you two guys feel about it? Your characters, how do they feel about it?
Oh no, that's a solid plan.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a solid plan. I think we'll come up with a good plan for starting this, but I think for actually enacting and inciting rebellion. But I think that no, this is a good strategy to go with.
Just take a minute and explain to me how to use this thing, and yeah, I will be able to do that.
Before Halifax hands over the scroll, Halifax, did you want to spend some time and copy the spell into your spell book? That destroys a scroll? Really?
Uh-huh.
Huh. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You whenever it destroys the scroll in the process of.
Oh, okay.
But I then could use the spell book to create another scroll, but that's like
But that takes 8 hours.
days. Yeah.
You're like just sitting there copying it down. You accidentally spill your coffee over it. Just, whoops, that spell scroll's gone. Every single wizard is just really clumsy.
That's Finnegan right there. It's a wonder
I think it's
that
like
he
it's
does
like
it.
the way that I look at it is that it's like the magical essence that is needed to fuel the spell book is consumed by the spell book. That's the way that I look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I will pass it along. I will find a way to get detect magic more permanently, Kyle. I will make it happen.
For sure.
But
for sure.
yeah, for now, let's hand the scroll over.
All right.
We're looking for chalks.
Yep.
Do we need detect magic to find chalks? They're
Conjuration chalks, specifically.
okay.
It's like when you're doing a spell, like if you're doing a spell scroll.
It's more than just a component. It's a magic item that's being used.
Right.
Yeah.
The component itself is magic.
I got it. I was not under that understanding earlier. So I actually most of this time I've been like, why are we putting so much effort into finding chalk? Both as a character and as a player.
This is where we find out that Finnegan is essentially Rocket Raccoon, and the chalk is entirely incidental.
Oh, I didn't need this anyway. I just really wanted it.
Yeah. Well, if anyone was listening, the reasoning that Finnegan needs the chalks is because Eridu gave him the sigil sequence that Dunham left on the floor before he took Agner away, and Finnegan was like, well, I think I can like reverse engineer this, because it's supposed to be just a sigil sequence for contacting the magical inquiries department. It's like not like supposed to be a way to actually get in there. But Finnegan's a badass and he can crack the code, and that's how he's going to teleport you guys into the magical inquiries department instead of just like trying to talk to them or whatever.
To try and free Agner.
To try and free Agner, like that was the whole plan. And he's like, well, I can do that. I can crack the code on this, but he needs the material components to be able to draw the circle, because like the chalk that he has is native to a different plane.
Yeah. I'll be real, I forgot about that when I came up with the idea of stealing a dragon.
Yeah.
And I was like, now I just really want to steal a dragon.
Yeah. Eridu's dreaming big. That's what he's doing.
I feel like when Eridu is gone, he may very well be trying to steal a dragon.
It's a pity the only two characters that bonded with a giant copper or a giant brass, was it brass or copper? I forget right now. Either way, ancient brass dragon. It was brass. It's a pity those two characters are gone.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a goddamn shame.
Eridu could go back and be like, "Hey, dragon, remember?"
Dragon probably be like,
I mouthed off to you a whole bunch. I wasn't bad as Agner, but still, I was pretty insolent.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me where your characters stand on the whole trying to procure the firearms thing.
I think it's procuring the chalk, procuring firearms, and then being teleported in with our firearms. Our firearms are essentially
an insurance policy.
An insurance policy. Well, yeah, kind of insurance policy, because you have a whole bunch of people that have magic, and a whole bunch of people. Yeah. I can throw out all of my spells, but if there are 50 of them, they can counter all my spells. Yeah. So having firearms means that we have big guns to.
For sure.
Like, they can't counter a bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not all monks.
They're not all monks.
They're not all monks.
Yeah.
I can confidently say that none of them are monks.
Yeah, I can confidently say that none of them are monks.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so that's kind of the order of operations that you're going for.
Correct.
And it's probably about the time for the break.
It is good enough time to cut for break.
Yeah. Very good. The characters have a plan, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think. We'll see how it goes after the break. Thanks so much.
All right, I'm gonna go and get another cuppa.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Come back in like 10 to 15, and we will continue this crazy ass story, yo. Crazy.